Good morning, and welcome back to another Saturday Somm-things with Mott's, drinking wine at 9. Here we are. Happy summer because it is hot and beautiful, and we've been waiting for this, in all honesty. So that's why the beautiful Jo Barrett, who works with Broadbent, is featuring these beautiful summer white wines, 3 of which are from Portugal. The other is New Zealand. Jo, welcome back to the table.
Thanks for having me.
This is your show, so let's go.
Okay, let's jump into it. We'll start with some Vinho Verde, which is, I think, the very best summertime wine. It is a white wine from the northern part of Portugal. These wines are lower in alcohol than we're used to seeing. This one's at about 9.5%. And they stop the fermentation a little bit early with the addition of some CO2.
Right.
So it gives it a little zippy freshness.
A little frizzante, a little fizz. It is off-dry, which might be off-putting to some people, but like you said, it's incredibly, incredibly refreshing. And the price is so attractive, simply because with Vinho Verdes, it doesn't take a lot of money to store them, to make them. Labor costs are down, so production can go up, and prices are equally that attractive.
They are. Wines from Portugal are very attractive, and it is something that we at Broadbent have really embraced. Our founder, Bartholomew Broadbent.
Bartholomew.
Bartholomew.
Yes.
He was traveling a lot in Portugal, producing his ports and Madeiras, drinking a lot of Vinho Verde in Portugal, and coming home to the States and thought the Vinho Verde selection we had was atrocious. So he found a family grower to make this wine for us. They bottle it on demand and they ship it here in refrigerated containers, which are 2 really small things, but when we're talking about a wine that's entire identity is its freshness,
It makes a difference.
it makes a huge difference.
And this is beautiful because it is a little off-dry, but it's still crisp. It still has that nice dynamic green freshness.
Indeed.
And in fact, Mott's is going to make a little cocktail. Usually I do this in the summer with Torrantes, the national white of Argentina,
Yeah.
but Portugal cannot be left out. So squeeze your lime,
Squeeze my lemon.
just a little, stir, 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 and then we're gonna taste.
Oh, I love this plain.
Oh, it's so good. It's like a limeade.
It is. That's funny. I actually call this the Gatorade of wine because
Okay.
it's so refreshing.
And you
fun.
can make it a little herbaceous, add a sprig of tarragon or rosemary, some peppercorns.
I've used it in micheladas with Bloody Mary mix,
Yep.
and it's a really fun, summery Bloody Mary.
It is. And so now we're on to the Vinho Verde Rosé.
Indeed, very similar story. They actually grow quite a bit of red grapes in Vinho Verde. So it's made in the same manner, slightly effervescent. Again, a little bit more fruitiness
Yeah.
than some other rosés that we're used to, but really fun and really fresh. This
Right.
is just the perfect porch pounding, summertime, après gardening wine.
To say the least. I'm getting a little tartness, choke cherry, crab apple, some rhubarb.
Oh, yeah.
Not your dynamic, bright strawberry type of fruit, but it still works because it just makes you do a little pucker
Yeah.
and have another glass. Nothing wrong with that.
Not when the alcohol's this low, you can.
Right.
several.
That's one of the attractive parts about
Absolutely.
because it is low in alcohol. Not saying that you can drink the whole bottle, or should you, but
It's never happened in my house.
never.
Never. If you were to stop by my house this summer, this is what we would be drinking on my patio.
So this is a good question for you, Jo. Being Vinho Verde off-dry, low in alcohol, what food would you pair with these?
Especially this rosé, I love it with salads. We love
Okay.
any kind of salad with strawberries in it in my house and goat cheese. These kinds of flavors just work really perfectly with this.
Something a little dry. Goat cheese is a good example. Tuna,
Oh yeah.
something, a shrimp ceviche.
Ooh.
That would be beautiful because these wines, I think, would complement the brightness of the fish
Absolutely.
because these are tasty. Truth be told, first time I'm tasting these wines today in front of you, and Miss Sheila already has them on sale.
Fantastic.
Okay, next Portuguese wine is this beautiful, beautiful white blend Go.
From the Dow. So
Yes.
the Dow is going to be south of the Douro River, which is a river that cuts right through the middle of Portugal and it goes into Spain. The wines here are a little more serious. It's one of the highest wine growing regions in Portugal at about 1,300 feet. So you're going to get a little bit more acidity, a lot of brightness.
Okay.
This is primarily Malvasia, which is a very aromatic grape. So if you're a fan of Vino Verde, just think of it as a little bit more serious than...
Yeah. It definitely has more of a mouthfeel. It's heavier in body and structure. It's drier. And I think more elegant, more refined. Yeah, a beautiful, beautiful Portuguese white blend wine. I'm not going to make you say the grapes. They're challenging, but they're in there. And this really represents such a beautiful, beautiful, dynamic wine.
Absolutely. And this
From
is something,
Portugal.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
no.
And this is something I would pair with maybe a nice grilled chicken,
Okay.
maybe a denser fish.
Sure. And you can even do grilled eggplant, flank steak, skirt steak, getting the alliteration out, because they're not going to be overwhelming.
Yeah.
They're not going to overpower the wine. They're not going to suffocate it. It's just going to be complementary. And this is a beautiful, beautiful representation of something gorgeous from Portugal.
Yeah, the wines from Portugal just have such an extreme value.
Yes, and they're up and coming. We've got a nice selection at Argonaut, so please come on down and discover these, because we have one more wine to share with you on this hot July Saturday. Jo, it is?
This is Spy Valley Sauvignon Blanc from Marlborough, New Zealand. Marlborough is on the top part of the southern island of New Zealand, and it is famous for its Sauvignon Blanc. This wine is really special as it's from one of the few wineries in Marlborough that's actually still family owned and operated.
Yep. Female winemaker.
Yep, the whole winemaking team, bunch of ladies.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Everyone down. Amanda, the owner, is, I think, one of the most lovely people on the planet, and her teams are just incredible. They have a lot of fun with the name, so it's called Spy Valley, but there's some Morse code here on the front label. Their tasting room is really fun. It's all like James Bond themed. And
We like that.
Yes.
And New Zealand Sauv Blancs are such a hot category right now, along with our rosés, because they are crisp, they are dynamic. They're so easy to pair food with or just drink and share, and very, very well priced.
very well priced. What I really love about this wine that I think sets it apart from others in the category is about 10% of it is barrel fermented.
Okay.
So it's just going to give it more mouthfeel and richness
Sure.
than a lot of other Sauvignon Blancs.
It is beautiful. You're getting your traditional tomato vines, which I really like, a little pomelo, a little grapefruit, but it's not overwhelming.
It's not overwhelming.
Some can be really in your face, and that's not what you want. You want crispness and balance.
In balance, I think this is that in spades.
It really does. It really delivers, and I'm so happy that you're introducing us to these beautiful white wines for summer, because it's hot, and what a nice way to cool down.
Indeed.
Yep. So, Jo, thank you so much.
Thanks for
thank
having
you
me.
to Broadbent. You guys are amazing. And to all of our viewers and listeners, come on down. Miss Sheila has them on sale, and we'll see you soon. So, Jo, thanks again.
Cheers. Thanks for having me.